bro? What's up?
Not much, man. I'm sorry if I'm bothering you on your only day off or
You're not. There's no days off if you're a realtor.
okay. Awesome. Yeah, I was just kind of curious on the Robinson place. It's a unique property because I see that it's been kind of on and off the market since like last July. And then like when I did the street view, I mean the house is gorgeous. And then I do the street view, and then there's like this random apartment complex that looks like directly next to it. Like I don't know. I don't know if maybe that's the reason this thing isn't selling as quick or what the case is. Like, what am I missing?
They have me listed at 539 for a long time. Interest rates are high. All the bedrooms are upstairs.
Ah.
And I mean, unless you did a remodel downstairs, I mean, everything's upstairs. Had a lot of people say they want it, but they all blow me off. We got it at like 469, but we got like a $10,000 whatever you want to do allowance with this. I mean, I think the true number is probably 450 and some change, but I mean, I don't care if you know him or tell him, but he's one of my best friends. And I said, you just fire my ass and find somebody else because he won't listen to me, but he didn't want to fire me. So I said, okay, let's keep rocking. I mean, I love him. He's one of my best friends. He's a good dude. And I think he needs to be more like 4.25, you know, and
right.
It's easier to say it than to do it. So, I mean, what are your thoughts?
Man, you know, honestly, I live in Kentucky. I'm an investor. I have my partner lives in Shreveport. So she can always go and take a look at these properties. And I've got to buy 2 properties before the end of the month. I got some money we have to disperse. But here's the deal. We buy multiple different ways. We buy cash. We buy creative. You know, I call on different properties that kind of fit our buy box because, you know, we'll either do like a long-term rental or like a co-living thing or just whatever the best exit strategy is for that area. Is he open? If I can give him the price that he wants and get this off your plate, is he open to anything creative?
Absolutely. You know, you could make it like a halfway house and be a done deal, but
right.
It's a fucking fine house. Excuse my French. I mean, it's fine. It doesn't have any issues. It's nice. It's got a garage apartment, sort of, kinda. So I mean, it's badass, but nobody really wants to live in Highland. They don't want to live by an apartment complex, and I totally get it. You know,
right? I mean, because that's an awful nice house to be sitting that close to that kind of apartment complex, is what my initial thought was.
Well, they're actually they've had no problems with that. But that said, I mean, I would probably put a 10-foot fence up all the way down it. I would, I mean, it's a nice house.
Yeah, no, it looks great, dude. Like the kitchen, I love the kitchen. Like you said, it could be a halfway house, you know, sober living, something like that. Maybe. What about that garage? Huh?
You make a fortune if it was sober living because you could put 4, 5, 6 people in there paying you $150 a week. That's what, $1,000, $4,000 a month. I mean, I don't know what the number is for you.
Sure.
But it's nice.
Yeah. Do you know how long has he owned this thing?
20 years.
Oh, 20 years. Okay.
It's basically paid for.
Okay. Well, that was going to be my next question because, you know, I would need to know how to structure, you know, the deal. You know, if it's a full seller carry or if it's a hybrid type deal. But yeah, dude, like I'm super interested. I'm not here to waste your time. And I know you're just kind of over this property. You're like, dude, just fire me or let's sell it.
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm just frustrated for him because I want it to happen.
Right. Well, dude, I'm interested. So you tell me what he wants so I can figure this out. I mean, do you know how much he owes left on the mortgage roughly?
Not much. I mean, well, let me ask you a question. What do you think? How would you try to determine? I mean, what would you do?
Okay. So just for instance, the way I always start is say he owes $100,000 on this, right? And it's 400 and just for number's sake, 450. Say we come in at 450 and he owes $100,000. What we do is we basically keep that mortgage in place and we pay that mortgage with a third party servicing company, right? All the rentals that we have are paid by our third party servicing company. That way he gets an email every day that it's due.
There's not much left on it though. I mean, really hardly anything. I want to say it's less than 20 grand.
Okay, so look, here's what we do. Then in that case, makes it way easier because it would be a full seller carry deal because I can give him enough money down to where it would pay that mortgage off and he puts some cash in his pocket. Essentially, he becomes the bank at that point, right? Because if I go and borrow money from a bank and I pay off his money that he borrowed from a bank, the only people making money are the bank. So I'm like, hey, dude, I won't negotiate with you too much on this property. I'll give you an extremely fair price that you'll be happy at. And then, you tell me how much you want down and how much of an interest rate. So I'm always going to shoot for 0%, right? And some people go for 0% because they're like, look, I'm tired of screwing with this. Please give me the number I want and I'll give you the 0%. Now we'll set up a balloon, so that he doesn't have to keep this loan forever with us. He would be his money secured by first lien position because if we're paying off his mortgage, then he can be first lien position and have, rights to the house if we ever defaulted. The dude gets it back with all the money that we've given him at that point, which would be stupid on our behalf, which we wouldn't.
How much down would you put?
Man, we typically don't like to go over 10%. And the reason being is because when people ask for 15, 20, 25, 30, we're like, dude, we can go get a loan at a standard loan at 20%. Yes, the interest rate's going to be higher, but for us as investors, we always like to come in at like 10% or less. I always shoot for 5. I'll go up to 10. And then on top of that, we do like a 30-year amortized payment so that my payment is low enough that I know the property's still going to cash flow. That way he doesn't have to worry about us ever defaulting. And then we do like a 10-year balloon. Right. So, yes, our payments amortized over 30 years just to help us make sure we cash flow. But then in 10 years, I've got to cash dude out completely, whether I refinance it at that point or I sell the property. He's done.
If you'll send me some math,
yep,
either in an email or a text message,
yep,
I'll present it to him.
Love it.
I'd love for your person to come to the open house tomorrow just to walk through it.
Okay. Yeah. I'll get with her and see if she's available at you said 1 to 3, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. And you can meet her. She's super nice. Her name's Shanna.
I'm not going to mess with her. I just would like you to lay eyes on it before. I would tell you, I'm just going to give you my thoughts. Don't ask for 5% because he'll have a hard time doing 10, but he'd like 20, but I hear you. 5 won't work.
Okay. That's fine. And I love that. That's why this is so awesome because everything's negotiable. Literally everything in this kind of deal.
Okay.
Cool, man. I love it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for taking time. And I'm going to send you over just something. Do you want me to send you over something before she comes to the open house tomorrow or after she looks at it or what?
Look at it. However you want to do it.
Okay. Cool. And this is my personal cell. So if you talk to him and he's got a question, dude, feel free to pick up the phone and call me or text me. Because like I said, I've got to buy something.
I'll be in touch.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Okay.
See you. Cool.